Hello, friends, and happy Tuesday. Thanks for joining us today for Music and Story Time. My name is Jess, and I use they, them pronouns, and I work over at Family Equality. And I'm here with my good friend, Lindz. Hi, Lindz.
Hello.
Hey. And we're super excited to be hanging out with everyone this afternoon. Before we get started, I just want to give a big shout out to our sponsor, which is California Cryobank. They're awesome. We work with them on a lot of different projects, and they have been around for about 40 years and have been helping clients realize their dreams of having a family, which is something that we love over at Family Equality. So big thanks to California Cryobank. There's also a promo code that's going to be dropped in the comments section. If you're someone who's looking to start a family, it gives you access to donor profiles at a discounted rate. And that's special just for Family Equality. So we're happy to share that with all of you. And today, I know we have a lot of things going on this time of year. So Lindz is going to be talking about Transgender Awareness Week, which is going on right now. So happy Transgender Awareness Week to all of our trans and non-binary friends out there. Yay. And also Thanksgiving, which is coming up next week. So talking a little bit about gratitude. So I will pass it over to you, Lindz, to get started.
Awesome. Thanks for the intro, Jess. Let's get started. It's okay to be gay. We are different in many ways. Doesn't matter if you're a boy, girl, or somewhere in between. We all are part of one big family. Gay means happy. Are enough here at Queer Kid Stuff. All right, thank you so much for joining me today. Good morning for those of you on the West Coast. Good afternoon to everybody over here on the East Coast. We have a lot going on right now in the world. I mean, lots of things generally, but the things I want to focus on today are Transgender Awareness Week, which is happening this week. That's right now as we speak. And also the big American holiday that's coming up next week, Thanksgiving. So I wanted to talk about those two things. So first, let's start off with Transgender Awareness Week. Does everybody know what it means to be trans? All right. So on Queer Kid Stuff, we talk so much about gender, and transness and being trans is a part of the LGBTQ plus community and what we're talking about when we talk about gender. So just a quick definition for you. I'm sure there are lots of folks out there who know what it means to be trans, but for us at Queer Kid Stuff, the way we talk about transness is looking at the T in our LGBTs, in our LGBTQ plus community, and we talk about transness in terms of gender. So when you're a baby and you're at the doctor, usually doctors will assign a gender to a baby. Now, this is not my favorite thing that doctors do, but it's something that happens a lot. So usually that gender that you're assigned at birth is the pronouns that are used for you throughout your life. And sometimes people realize that maybe they don't actually identify with the gender they were assigned by that doctor when they were a baby. So someone who was assigned female at birth, but is a transgender man, is someone who actually is a man, but was assigned the wrong gender when they were born. And so the same can be true of a trans woman. Someone who was assigned male at birth could have been assigned male at birth, but then realizes, I'm not actually a boy. I don't actually want to use he, him pronouns. I'm not actually a cisgender man. I am a woman. I am a trans woman. So that's just a little bit of a lowdown on what it means to be trans. And this whole week, We are celebrating what it is to be a trans person and the trans community and giving visibility to those folks who identify as trans. So, a tried and true queer kid stuff song. We're going to sing the gender song, so if you know any of the words, we've definitely sung it on these live streams before. Please, please do feel free to sing along with me. Gender, let's not get in a fender over gender, alright. Remember, being exactly who you are is full of splendor and light. Here are some ways to identify: she for girls and he for guys. There's they and them for in between, so you can be the best of you and we can sing, oh, gender. Let's not get in a bender over gender, alright. Remember, asking someone what are you is tender, not right. So we ask, how do you identify? 'Cause it's hard to tell just with my eyes. So tell me what you feel inside, so you can be the best of you and be with pride, oh, gender. Let's not get in a fender over gender, alright. Remember, being exactly who you are is full of splendor and light. Gender, let's not get in a fender over gender, alright. Gender, let's not get in a fender over gender, alright. All right, thanks for singing along with that song with me. So we were talking about transgender awareness and what it means to be trans. Hello, Link. Hello, Joanne. Hello, David. Oh, from Spain. That's really cool. Thank you so much for tuning in. So here in America, in the United States, next week is Thanksgiving. So I also wanted to talk a little bit about Thanksgiving and what Thanksgiving is and how we're celebrating it today, because we're still in the middle of a pandemic. We're in the middle of a second surge. This is really, really important, and family is so integral, so important to Thanksgiving and this holiday. So I wanted to put a little space here for us to talk about family and our families, our queer families in particular, and how we are holding space for our families. So I would love if you told us in the comments what you're doing to stay close to your family while we have to be apart at this point, at this year's festivities. I also wanted to do something called a land acknowledgement. So I know that we're on the internet, we're live streaming right now, but I personally, where I am in the world right now in the United States, is on Wabanaki land. So land that was taken from the Wabanaki when Europeans came over and originally settled in America. Land acknowledgements are super important because we are talking about the indigenous people who used to be in the space where we are today. So indigenous people or Native American people. And these are the people who originally were in America before people came across the Atlantic Ocean and settled these lands. So it's super important, especially I really encourage you at your Thanksgiving table this year to work on your own land acknowledgement. So you can go to native-land.ca. That's again, native-land.ca. And you can look up the Native American tribes and indigenous people who are part of the land that you are occupying as a family at the Thanksgiving table, because it's super important to acknowledge indigenous people and Native American people at this time of year. So I wanted to hold that in our space today, and I also wanted to sing our family song. So this might be a song you also know from Queer Kid Stuff, so sing along if you know the words. You can have a mom and a dad, brothers and sisters too, but if you have one or the other, it doesn't make your family less true. You can live with grandma or grandpa, plenty to adore. There's a million combinations, a million formations that make the foundation for laughs, for life, for love, for family. You can be adopted or welcomed in with arms wide open. Feels like it's been forever from the get-go. If it feels like home, then don't let go. There's a million ways to make them. Sometimes you want to shake them, but every day you'll take them, because they're here for you, for love, for family. Because they're here for you, for love, for family. All right. We are going to read a couple of stories on family, and I want to talk a little bit about transness in Indigenous peoples and in the Native American community. And I also, at the end of this, we're going to talk a little bit about giving thanks and gratitude and giving thanks for the people in our lives, and in particular, our families. It all comes together in the end. All right, so first, we're going to read Love Makes a Family. So I really want you to pay attention to the illustrations, the people in the book. And I want to see what different kinds of families you can see, and if there's any family in this book that looks like your family. All right. Love is waking up bright and early. All right, let's see what this family looks like. Oh, we've got some maracas, lots of music in this family, a drum, a kitty cat. What do you see? Two grown-ups right there. Getting woken up in the early morning. My goodness. All right. Love is baking a special cake. Oh, we've got lots of cool pastries there, lots of desserts. I see presents. I see, is that pizza? No, it's chocolate chips. Those are chocolate chips. Oh, but there is pizza too. Oh my goodness. There's a strawberry on top of that cake. There's lots of chocolate, some cupcakes. We've got two children and maybe an older relative, maybe a grandparent. And I think we've got a parent right there on the birthday. Oh, maybe that's another grandparent. Oh, everybody out celebrating a birthday. That's exciting. Love is knowing where everything is. I'm not always the best finder of things, so maybe we can get a grown-up to help us look for things. Let's see, we've got a pet mouse or a pet rat. Lots of clothes all over the place. Looks like we found our shoe over there before we went outside, because look, there's a missing shoe. 1, 2. Some very nice things in that room. Looks like a fun time. Love is finding the biggest puddles. All right, this family looks like we've got a baby. We've got maybe dad there or Baba. We've got, looks like 2 younger siblings and maybe another parent. We're splashing in some puddles in that one. All right. Love is lending a helping hand. All right, this family looks like we've got some fish in this family. Whoop. There's some fish right there. That looks pretty cool. Grown up and 2 young people. Oh, and it looks like maybe the teddy bear got into the fish. Ooh, that's not where teddies are supposed to be. Love is watching from the front row. Oh, some family theater time right there. Some grown-ups. We've got some young people. Oh, what do you think? What kind of play do you think they're putting on? Looks like maybe they're magic. I see a witch, maybe a wizard. Looks kind of cool. Love is playing on the weekend. We've got grown up and we got a bunny drinking some tea. And some birdies. Maybe they're drinking tea too. Love is making things better again. Oh, it looks like maybe that monkey took her ice cream, but don't worry, the grown-up is about to help and get a new ice cream cone. Very mischievous monkey. Love is washing away the day. It's bath time. All right, I see some pirates. I see some snorkelers here. Very important things happening in that bath time. Love is reading one more book. Oh, what a cool fort. Look at what that family looks like. One more book. Oh, we've got some owls in the corner there reading along with them to their owl book. Love is chasing away monsters. Oh, I think maybe there's a closet monster. There we go. What do we see? We've got a kitty cat. And we've got some grown-ups to the rescue. All right. Love is a kiss before bed. Everybody gets a kiss before we go to bed, even the doggy in the corner. There we go. Oh, the end. What a lovely little book with lots of different cool-looking families. All right. So next, we're going to do a little bit of history. I've talked about this book before. I love this book. It's newish. It came out over the summer, I believe, called Rainbow Revolutionaries, 50 LGBTQ plus people who made history. And it's got, people you know and love. Marsha P. Johnson is in this book. Harvey Milk is in this book, who I've talked about before. But it also has a lot of people in here who I had never heard of before. And one of those people is this person named Wewa. All right, I'm going to tell you all about Wewa. Did you know that before Europeans showed up, many places in the world accepted more than two genders? Yep. There used to be many native nations, like we talked about, indigenous people, who recognized 3 or 4 or 5 or more genders as the norm. Isn't that cool? 4 or 5, even more genders. It wasn't just within an LGBTQ plus community, but within the nation as a whole. Wewa was born into one of these places. The Pueblo of Zuni, located in what is now New Mexico in America, assigned gender based on how a child acted, who they were as a person, and not just how their body looked. That sounds pretty cool. Actually, many Native American tribes saw gender more fluidly than other cultures, and still do today. Wewa, who would have been assigned male at birth, do you remember what we talked about with our definition of what it means to be transgender? So Wewa would have been assigned male at birth in most other cultures, was a llama. In her Pueblo of Zuni community, that means that she was able to carry out not only traditional male roles, but also the traditionally female roles she was drawn to. So she was able to kind of be a little bit more fluid between what we as would maybe categorize as male or female. So we're talking a little bit about a kind of different gender, right? A different way of thinking about gender. So this idea of someone who is Yamana. Now, another thing to know about Wewa's time is that Native people and European settlers didn't know very much about each other. When Presbyterian missionaries arrived in the 1870s, a long time ago, when Wewa was in her 20s, like everyone else, she probably wasn't sure what to think of the new people who were coming to her land. Wewa decided to learn English and help the two groups to get to know each other better. She became an important link for understanding. And that has a lot to do with what Thanksgiving is about too, right? In 1886, she was 36 years old. Wewa was invited to travel to Washington, D.C. to represent the Pueblo of Zuni and their culture. Can you imagine what it would be like to travel over 2,000 miles with no airplane or car? That is a very long way to go without an airplane or a car. Wewa had quite a journey going from New Mexico to Washington, D.C. She had never left New Mexico before, so seeing green forests, and because New Mexico is a desert, right? So lots of sand, not a lot of trees, not a lot of leaves, anything like that. So seeing green forests and big cities was all brand new to her. Wewa shared her talents in many crafts when she was in D.C. Her weavings and pottery were displayed in the National Museum, and she starred in a dance put on at the National Theater that the president at the time, Grover Cleveland, attended. While the European settlers didn't always continue to treat her with respect, Wewa did all she could to build compassion. So that's Wewa. All right. And so now we know a little bit more about gender in, that's the picture. Now we know a little bit more about Wewa, who's a really cool and important Indigenous Native American cultural figure from the past. And we understand a little bit more about how Trans Awareness Week and Thanksgiving actually kind of overlap, right? So we're talking about someone who is Native American, who is Indigenous, who also holds a transgender identity. All right, so that's cool. All right, switching gears a little bit. So something that we talk about a lot during Thanksgiving, the word thanks is in there, is in the holiday itself, is about giving thanks to our family and the people in our community. And for a lot of us, that can be our friends and our chosen family, right? So the people who we choose to be close to and choose to be in our family circles. So I thought I would do a quick little song for all of you, just for fun. All about thanking you all, my new friends from all my live streams, doing hanging out with Family Equality. So we're gonna do this little song. Thank you for being a friend. Travel down a road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. Weird chord. And if you threw a party and invited everyone you knew, you would see the biggest gift would be for free from me. And the card attached would say, thank you for being a friend. Thank you for being my friend, everyone. Isn't that so nice? All right, we're going to do a quick song just to bring the mood down a little bit. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll always know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Do, 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 You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. always know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Please don't take my sunshine away. All right. Thank you so much for celebrating Transgender Awareness Week and Thanksgiving with me. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful holiday next week and you stay safe out there. We're in the middle of another surge, so I'm keeping our families close while we're apart and, thanking each other for the community we've been able to build throughout this really difficult year. So I just wanted to express my gratitude to all of you. And I hope that you take away a little bit of a lesson on Indigenous people and Native American folks while we're thinking about Thanksgiving. And check out that website that I mentioned before about crafting your own land acknowledgement for your Thanksgiving table. And thank you so much to Family Equality. Yeah, you can check out Queer Kid Stuff and all of my work at queerkidstuff.com. All right. Thank you so much, Jess. Hello.
Yeah. Hi. Thank you so much, Lindz. We are grateful for you and hanging out with us every month. I know we still have one more time to hang out this year in December, but it has been so fun. We've been hanging out for 9 months or something like that.
It's been a little while. Yeah, it's been great.
I know. Thank you so much. And for all the folks out there, you can check out Lindz's work at Queer Kid Stuff. There's also some links to their awesome podcast called Activist U, which is all about youth activists. We are also super grateful to California Cryobank for sponsoring today's session. Up in the comments, you can find a code for their website, and you can also access, they have a bulletin board specifically for LGBTQ couples and families and things like that. So they've been a great ally to our community and we're grateful for them. And also in the comments, and you probably just saw it flash on your screen, Sarah Prager, who wrote the Rainbow Revolutionaries book, is actually going to be on Family Equality's podcast during our next episode. Yeah. So you can check out her website and also find our podcast wherever you find podcasts and give it a listen. So with all of that, we hope to see you next month on the 15th for another music and story time. And thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks, Lindz, for being here today. And we'll see you all soon.
Bye, everyone.